All right, so hi, I'm Brandon, and this is my internship. It's called Control in Disguise. So first I'd like to say that all the pictures in this, other than like the logos, I took in my internship because I took a lot of pictures, so I used them. I kind of wanted to center my entire internship, everything on like aviation, and I wanted to do something really cool, something that I would enjoy, just an experience, and I thought, why not work with the air traffic controllers, because they're in cool towers and they get to control planes and stuff. So I first contacted the Richmond International Airport, and they didn't respond. So I was like, oh. And then I contacted Roanoke Airport, and they did respond. And they explained to me that, essentially I learned that because Richmond International Airport it's the airport, I needed to have contacted the Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, to contact the air traffic control tower at the Richmond Airport, even though the buildings that are like 15 feet apart, which I will get to later. That's actually part of my research project. And for my community service, I work with USL at the Richmond International Airport. So this is my mentor, Mr. Joe Sherrick. He's air traffic control manager, and this is the secretary lady who I emailed with a lot. She kind of got me started with my internship, and that is me. So this is the tower. It's 14 stories tall. Put words there because it's too tall to fit the whole thing. You can't take pictures above story 9, which is the kind of the break room, because it's all government information and technology and stuff. So I was kind of disappointed in that, but I wasn't really surprised. So I don't have any pictures inside the tower with the computers and stuff, but I did go up there a lot and job shadowed. So this is essentially give you a ground course on how it works. So that right there, that would be an airport, and they kind of work off of vectors. So different radars have different like angles. Some are small, like this is a airport radar that are circular, and others are one direction and they go longer. So if an airport wanted to go from here to, let's say, here, it wouldn't just fly there. It would have to follow the pathways. They're all different vectors. So that's how airports get places. It's kind of complicated, but yeah. So I did many different things at the airport. A lot of the days I just went up there and mentored with them. One day when I was there several hours, because I don't think we had school, I went and I toured all the residual facilities outside the airport, the different radar towers that are far away, and all the different radio towers. So this is one of the cool ones. I called it the soccer ball. It's also known as the dome or the golf ball. It sits in a hunting reservation, really like 40 miles away. And the dome part, it's just a weather cover. But we got to go inside, and I got to see the thing spin. You can't go inside the dome, because if you do, it shuts it off, and then things would crash. But it was just, I think one of the most interesting things I noticed about this day is they put this stuff where they need it, and it doesn't matter where it is. So they buy that plot of land from whoever, and they just put it there. So they're in the middle of nowhere. There was one in the middle of a farmer's field. Like there's just a road, and it's splitting this field in half with a building. And if you've ever driven by the junkyard, the scrapyard, there's just a huge radio tower, 15 feet in the scrapyard. So yeah, hunters. It's said that hunters took pot shots at the dome sometimes. So another day I toured the tech ops facility, which is like the offices below at the airport. It's these are really old computers, and they have binders everywhere with all the different codes and stuff. They showed me all the generators, and they essentially, if they lost all power, they could run the entire facility for 96 hours and just the tower for a week and a half. So it's important about keeping the tower running nonstop, because if they don't, then they can't pick off or take planes off, which is a problem. So 2 of the days I spent working with the fire EMS, which I think was the coolest part. They have an on-site, it's just for the airport. So if there's a fire happening across the street, they actually have to contact the Richmond fire and see if they can help, which they do occasionally. And so I got to drive around with them, see all their, ride along on the trucks. They did some water spray tests and stuff, and it was really cool. So for my community service, I worked with USL. at the airport. This is me. This is the first day I went there. He's a veteran and he just works there. Essentially, it's making the traveling experience for veterans just a lot easier. So they just have snacks and video games, and I'm just there to help them out. So yeah, it's a lot of fun talking with them, seeing where they're coming and going to, and I'll understand. Some of them are nice, and some of them are just there to just take a nap. So another picture. USO plays a major role in more than just airports. There's 180 USO stations nationwide, and I hadn't really heard of USO before this. And there's only two things that are allowed on base that are private organizations. It's USO and the Red Cross. So USO is kind of a big deal. In Vietnam, they helped out the soldiers a lot. I think they brought the Playboy bunnies. That was a USO thing. But they're all just about making it easier for veterans. They had patches everywhere on all the walls that people just gave when they came by. So for my legacy, I'm doing a fundraiser. That's what I called it because everything about it is kind of doing an anti-food drive. So no food, everything but food. Because USO needs more than just food. They need toiletries, toothpaste, video games. So I'm doing that with the school through RTC. It's going to be happening next week and the week after that. I am also going to be doing a anti-uniform day. So for RTC, you can pay $5 and you don't have to wear your uniform for an inspection. And that money goes directly to the RIA USO. That's part of my legacy. There's one other aspect, I haven't worked at the details, but I'm going to say it, and it doesn't happen. So for my research paper, this was an important part of it. I wanted to determine, as in the future, will the constant increase of planes going on the runway, is it close to a breaking point? Is it going to be, we're going to be seeing a huge increase in crashes just due to the nonstop demand? We have put about 400% more airplanes than when the airports originally built without adding any new runways. And my research essentially concluded that while putting more runways is important, it's crazy expensive. There's a runway that's being built in, I think it was Australia, that was $1.3 billion for a runway. So that's not going to be how we're going to do it. The major airports, they're always running at nearly full capacity. And that's because the privately run airports want to make as much money as possible. And the government-run controllers, they're trying to keep up, and they're not exactly the fastest. Their next-gen technology right now is using GPS to track planes, which is, it's about 10 years old, but they're integrating it slowly. But it's not going to be an issue because the major airports, they'll just redirect traffic to the lower airports. Like they said, Richmond is almost never at 100% capacity. So the bigger airports will they'll operate it where they are, and the lower ones will pick up the slack. However, when I interviewed my mentor, he brought up a problem that he said is 100% definitely going to happen in the next 15 years. And I had not even realized until he brought it up when I looked at it in my research. That's bringing it into politics. In the 1970s, with the deregulation of the airports, Ronald Reagan fired 17,000 controllers. They essentially just started from scratch with their air traffic controllers. And that was 40 years ago-ish. Air traffic controllers are required to retire at 56. And so when they all hired those new controllers, they are all going to retire in the next 15 years. We're going to lose 40% of our air traffic controllers in the next 15 years. This is going to cause major delays in airports because they don't have enough controllers to staff, and they're going to have to slow down the amount of airplanes on the runways. So that was the problem that is going to happen, and we don't really know what to do. We just need people to become air traffic controllers. So this is the timeline of my internship. I began in September. The last day my internship was in February, and I began volunteering in October. And in May, I expect to finish my legacy and my volunteering. I'm doing a few more volunteer days to get a couple more hours. I had a mishap where I missed a day because I had to put my dog down. And yeah, the communication kind of fell apart after that, but it's going back. So the future, these are a couple quotes that stuck with me. I was late a couple times to my internship, and I apologized a lot. So she was like, always be on time, because I think it's important. If you show up on time, that's good. It's the first step, first impression. And Mr. Sherrick said, no matter what you do what you love, because I think he got a degree in finance, and he did that, and he was like, this was super boring. And so he switched to this, and he said it's the most fun he's ever had. So tomorrow, the future for me, I'm going to Virginia Tech to study engineering. And I guess this project revealed to me that I actually wasn't considering doing this as a job, but if the situation arises itself, as a backup plan, I am definitely going to become an air traffic controller, because they need them, and in 5 years they make $92,000. So, but it was decent fun. It was a great experience for me. I loved every minute of it. And my advice for future seniors is, do something cool. Don't do something lame, because it made it a lot easier to wake up at 5 a.m. and drive 45 minutes to the airport because I was excited to do it, and it was a lot of fun. So I think that's my presentation.
Are there any spots in the United States that aren't covered by radar?
I think in Colorado, about the top half of Colorado.
Okay.
But they don't need them because they don't have airports there.
Cool.
So what would be the path or education needed to become an air traffic controller?
I have there's a Bible, an ATC manual. That's what he called it, and it's about this thick. And when this other guy started, it was this small. Essentially, you just need a college degree, and I think it was either communications or just some science-related thing. And then you take the courses. So I don't think there's specific air traffic controller courses you can take in college. I'm sure if you took an aviation degree, that would definitely help. But it's all post-graduate.
What happens if an airplane strays off one of the vectors and just starts like flying around?
That corrects itself. It's just like the pathway they take. Like,
Okay.
it's almost like using a compass. They shoot for that.
But there's no sort of procedure that like if airliner just starts like if it just goes off the vector, like will they like radio up to them and like
Yeah,
talk
so,
back?
they'll tell them to correct themselves.
Okay.
It's just how they travel.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
they don't just point toward the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Over oceans, though, it is different. They just can't.
Yeah.
They follow the arc. Any other questions?
Yes.